What's up, Fantasy Football First fans? I'm Rick, this is Devin, and today we'll continue our Studs and Duds series for you of last night's game. We got Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the Eagles. It was a bit of a rough one, but we are all good now. Spooky season, if you guys can't tell. But yeah, Devin, how do you feel today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh man, I am just ricking it up as always, as they say. So, if you'd like to go ahead and start, we'll start with our studs. But before we get into that, watch this brief commercial.
Hello. If you think about how great Travis Kelce is, you will most definitely want to be one of only 1,000 first fans to receive this beautiful collector card for free. They are individually numbered, and all you have to do is like this video, comment on this video, and subscribe to the Fantasy Football First channel. It's all in the description below. Now go enjoy the rest of the show.
Welcome back, First fans. Hope you enjoyed our special presentation for Mr. MF, formerly known as More Can Free Man. So, yeah, now we'll continue our series. As always, just remember, there's a bunch of Kelce cards out there, okay? Yep. You can get it, all right? Unless you don't want it, of course, that's fine, but you want it. Limited edition, only 1,000. Anyway, go ahead if you'd like to start this this one off with a stud.
All right, studs and duds. My first stud, or actually my only stud, is Antonio Brown this week.
Oh, pretty good.
He had a huge game. Well, most of his games this year have been pretty big. So, but yeah, he exploded. 13 targets, 9 receptions, 93 yards and a touchdown. Unfortunately, he did not go over 100 yards. But that's okay. Yeah, really close.
Well, good pick, good guy.
Yeah.
And
back then, when before the season, me and Rick here did that tit for tat on Mike Evans versus Godwin. In that video, I talked about Antonio Brown, and I said that out of Mike Evans and Godwin, I would rather have Antonio Brown. I think he's going to be the #1 on the team. And so far, it looks like it. Tom Brady really likes him. I honestly believe Antonio Brown, by the end of the year, could finish as a top 10. I really like him.
If you didn't count from last night, he was number 16 of wide receivers. So he is now in the top 10 until, you know, the week commences. But yeah. Good pick. I'm going to go with my stud. Also on the Tampa Bay, it's not Tom Brady, Leonardo Fournette. Yes, this guy, he ran for 22 attempts, so obviously they like him. He picked up 81 yards. Got 2 touchdowns off of that game, and he also got 6 targets, catching all of them, 6 for 46. So in a PPR league, he is monstrous. Obviously, they didn't know at the beginning of the season who was going to do what back in the field, but it started progressing. They talked to Fournette, telling him, hey, if you're not going to do anything, we're going to kick you off this team. And you know what he did? Everything.
Something.
He did everything. So now he's starting to look like it, and with, you know, running backs being so awkward this year, Fournette is definitely one to have going forward. You should definitely play him every week.
Yep, I like it. I like it. I was unfortunately one of those people that drafted Ronald Jones.
Yeah, this guy.
So yeah,
I was one of those people who didn't draft anybody. So before we go into our bus, I'm just gonna talk about a little sneaky guy I have for this week. Miles Sanders. Not much for Gainwell that week. Yeah, so my sneaky guy is Miles Sanders. Yeah. He had 9 attempts for 56 yards. He had 1 attempt going into the second half, and the Eagles fans started to boo the team. They keep holding up signs saying, run the ball, and not with Jalen Hurts, but, you know, with their other guys in the backfield. They started giving him the ball, and he got 56 yards total off of it. Yeah. And that's against the Buccaneers, who have been the best against the run, only allowing about 40 yards per game per team. So he has the best, you know, carrying average. I think they're going to start running him going forward, so he's definitely got to continue thinking about. Yeah. So, yeah, on to our busts.
My dud for the week is going to be Devonta Smith. Not a whole lot of passing yards on the Philadelphia Eagles side, although I kind of saw this coming because Jalen Hurts is more of a running quarterback, not as much of a passing quarterback. He can pass the ball, but not as much. It's kind of like what we saw from Lamar Jackson the past few years. More of just a running offense.
Of course.
So not a whole lot from Devonta Smith throughout the year, and last week was just his worst week. Just terrible. But there is good news. He's been averaging about 8 targets the past 3 games. So going forward, it'll get better. But don't get your hopes up for that, top 10 wide receiver. I don't know if he's ever going to do that, especially this season.
Right. And I mean, Tampa Bay was giving up, top tier points to wideouts. So
Yeah.
it's going to be depending on Jalen Hurts and if he's going to be really good or really bad or just stay in the middle. And I think he has to be really good in order for Devonta Smith to do any work.
Yep.
So for my, I know I've been saying bust, I think this whole time, but for my, dud. Sorry, I'm so old, I can't get with all the hype. My dud is going to be Mike Evans, of course.
Yeah. Only
Only 4 targets that made him, out of the 8 receivers that Tom Brady was throwing to, that made him the 3rd worst. O.J. Howard was better than my guy. Chris Godwin was better. Fournette was better with targets. Yeah. He did tie with Cameron Brate, though, so there's that for him. 2 for 27. I will say he did get a 22-yard catch on the second play of the game, so it looked like he was going to get good, and then it was the Brown show, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's starting to look like the 3rd wide receiver on that team, which is kind of funny. So Chris Godwin still staying in his 2nd wide receiver spot. Yeah. Can you play Mike Evans going forward? I think you have to. You can play any one of those wide receivers, considering Tom Brady is a beast. I mean, Leonard Fournette is getting those carries, but he's still going to throw a lot. But don't look for him to being the best one on a team going forward, I would say.
I would probably look at Mike Evans as your wide receiver 3, because a lot of these games coming up, you're going to see a lot of inconsistency. He's going to either have explosive 30-point games, maybe 20-point games, and then you're going to see a lot of single digits. So I just don't use him as your wide receiver 1 or 2, but or trade him away.
Trade him away.
So that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. Don't forget to get your Travis Kelce card by
liking this video
and
commenting on this video
and
subscribing to the channel.
Exactly. You can get your Travis Kelce card. They're hand painted, so don't forget to get yours. And you want to finish this out?
Yeah, for sure. As always, I'm Rick. This is Devin. Sometimes going forward, we might have this guy named Quinn joining us. Unlikely, but we'll see what continues to be. Anyways, remember, always to
finish first.
Yeah, I love you guys. Peace out.
Thank you for listening to the FantasyFootballFirst.com podcast.
Jackson throws complete. Crabtree has it for a touchdown.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Get more fantasy info and check us out at FantasyFootballFirst.com.